What is the difference between cortisol and cortisone? That I get confused.
Well, let's see if I understand right. You say cortisol and cortisol?
Cortisone.
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 Cortisol is the natural hormone produced by the adrenal glands as an anti-inflammatory hormone. Say, I'm under stress. What it means you're under a you have increased cellular inflammation, and the adrenal gland will put out cortisol to shut down the production of all carcinoids, good and bad. And actually, cortisol is the second most abundant hormone produced by the body. Now, cortisone is basically a synthetic cortisol, which is more powerful. You don't have to take as much, but since it's more powerful, it has greater side effects. But when do you use cortisone? When basically you're under inflammatory attack. This is the drug of last resort. Now, the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1949 was awarded for the discovery of cortisol and cortisone. It's viewed as a miracle drug. By 1950, it's viewed as a very dangerous drug because you can only give it for a very short period of time before you put the body in great immunological distress because you're shutting down the entire immune system. So what used to be a miracle drug is now the drug of last resort for treating inflammation. So it's just a very, very powerful, potent synthetic cortisol.
But in your opinion, when will be the time to use it, the cortisone?
Oh, when
Never?
you're really desperate. Now, the whole key is never get to the point of being really desperate. But if you're really desperate and basically you have no way to stop the pain is overwhelming, you have two options. I can take a morphine drug that blocks the pain signals, I become a zombie, or I can take a cortisol drug that'll stop the pain, but basically my body will spiral downward out of control quickly. Now, is there somewhere between those intermediate aspects? Yes, you can have less powerful anti-inflammatory drugs like COX-2 inhibitors, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, or an aspirin, or follow an anti-inflammatory diet with a lot of fish oil. And these are not mutually exclusive because the diet works upstream, the drugs work downstream. So they're synergistic. The more you follow an anti-inflammatory diet, the less of an anti-inflammatory drug you need to control the inflammation that's out of control at that point in time. So if your inflammation is totally basically running wild, you have to stop it. You have to put the fire out. And again, you might use cortisol or cortisone for me 7 days. But if you have to use it for more than 7 days, you know you're in trouble.